Hey everyone, today I am going to do a video tutorial on how I process some of my cell phone photos. So today I was out with the family doing some shopping and I decided to do some photography, but I didn't bring my camera with me. But there's a reason I have my Samsung. So that camera is a great camera. This is my cell phone camera. This is the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. So it's I think I'm not sure what the new model is, but this is definitely an older model. But the camera is just amazing. So we're gonna process it with this. I'm gonna see what we can do here. It's a little kind of weird pixelation noise. So I mean, it's trying to. I believe it did HDR on this, so that's why we got this going. So we'll try to see if we can fix that. If not, I don't think it'll be too bad. So we're going to go ahead and process it. I think the first thing I'll do is just maybe go into develop and then possibly definitely bring down the exposure and then bring up some vibrance and some saturation, and that's already looking pretty good. Now I'm going to do that masking where it has that sky, maybe see how well it figures out where the sky is. So it's not perfect. So it's got this part and this part. Would have liked it if it found this area, but I think I'll go ahead and bring the exposure down just on that part, and then maybe just a tad, and maybe bring the temperature more of a blue like that, like a blue, and then we will. What else we will do? Dehaze, that's it. Yeah, wow, so that looks pretty good already. Just a couple of basic processing techniques that I went ahead and did. Now I'm just going to launch it in Photoshop. Edit here into Photoshop. And we're going to go ahead and edit this copy with the Lightroom adjustments. Now Photoshop's going to open up and we're just going to play around with the settings in Photoshop. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this layer. You guys know I like to duplicate my layers as I'm processing. And then the first thing I'm going to do is try to figure out if we can just do anything with this here. Let's see. And we might not be able to, but let's see what happens if we use maybe like a Topaz denoise. We'll see what happens. So we have denoise going on. Let's pull it all the way to here and see what it does. That's actually not bad. Let's see. Okay, so it kind of helped out right around here, the area that I was hoping it would, like right there. So let's take a look at that. So that was before, and then this is after. So I'm liking it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply on that one. Alright, so it's done applying the denoise. So let's go ahead and just take a look and see what I did. So right here is the that's before, and this was, or this is after, and this is before. So this is after the denoise, and then this is before denoise. So that looks pretty cool. It's very graphic, but I'll take that. Let me just take a peek in around here. So I don't normally pixel peep, but yeah, actually it actually created some detail in there, so that's pretty cool. So I don't have or is it Luminar Neo? Yeah, I don't have their denoise version yet. I'll eventually get it, but right now I'm just using denoise. I'm happy with it. So let's go ahead and you duplicate that, and then we're gonna go ahead and use the Luminar Neo to see if we can maybe give it a little more of a mood. Alright, so let's go into edit, and then we will play around with the develop. Actually, let's go ahead and enhance it first, and then we'll do the accent. Usually this brings out the pop. Not too much. I'll just probably bring it to a 10. Looks good. So that was before and after. Just a slight little pop in the foreground and stuff like that. I'm not gonna go too crazy. Let's see what it does with the sky. Okay, that's cool. I'll take that. So I'll do like 13. Nothing too crazy. So with that done, if you do before and after, it just normally what I do when I do that it brightens up the photo a little bit. So I'll go into here and go into my curves and then just play around with the curves some. And then there you go. I like that. It's kind of deep. Okay, that might be a little too dark. Let's see, before and after. Okay, I'll take that. I'll do that. And then we'll go ahead and just maybe push the shadows up a little bit, and then see what it does. All right, bring the highlights down. So that looks good overall. So this is the before, and then this is the after. And let's go ahead and you know what I like it with a Luminar is the relight. So what relight does is it's a little slow, at least on my Mac. If you do the near, it just it darkens whatever in front, and then it kind of goes like that. So that's I kind of like that. Very useful for certain things, and it's fun to just mess around with. And we'll do that, and so it's the same thing with the far. So whatever is further away, it can brighten up, or so it kind of sees what's in the distance. So that's really cool. And this, I guess, is just kind of the depth of the two between these two, which I don't see anything happening. So we'll just leave it at that. Let's see what it looks like before that. All right. So not much of an effect, but it's cool to use. What else do we have? And then we'll go into mood. I like my mood, so we'll go into here. It actually looks really good right now, but we'll see what we can do with mood here. So I am kind of liking it. Tokyo's looking good, but I was liking this one, Sina. They're kind of similar, so I'll just keep Sina and then maybe play around with the amount. So that looks pretty good, except I feel I maybe want to bring this area down a little bit on the exposure, and that would probably, I'll just go do that in either Photoshop or a Lightroom, but everything else looks all right. I like using matte, but let's see what if it just does anything good. Visually, I like it about. Let's see the before and after. Where's my matte? All right, so the one thing I don't like about Luminar is that your past edits are in here, and that's kind of annoying because then you got to go back in here. So that's before and after. So I'll just bring the amount down. I do like it, but I'll bring the amount down a little bit. So that's good. I like it like that. I think that's enough for Luminar, and I'll just go ahead and just hit apply. All right, so now it's done with applying the Luminar. So this is before, and this is after. So we have a little bit of a mood to it, so I like that. And we have a little bit going on here, this little line here. So I'm going to go ahead and just use the spot heal tool here. And then we're just going to erase that. There we go. That looks good. And that works for me. I'm just going to go ahead and do my last thing here. Just flatten it and save it. So we're going to close out and go back into Lightroom, and then we're going to make the adjustments in Lightroom. All right, so this is the before Photoshop. This is after Photoshop, Luminar, denoise. So that looks great. I'm thinking we're good to go, but let's go and develop, and then we'll go into the possibly the linear gradient, because I did say I wanted to bring down the exposure from the top there. So we'll click this, and then we'll just drag it down like this, and then we'll just drag the exposure down, something like that. All right, so I think that's it for this. It looks good. I'm done. I know some of you all might want to fix this, the wide angle look, and I'll go ahead and do that. I mean, it looks like looks a little kind of off. So let's go ahead and use the this upright tool. We'll use guided, and then we'll just draw our lines to kind of straighten out the photo, and then we'll draw lines for the horizontal line, and that looks good. I'm just going to go ahead and do the aspect here, just kind of to stretch it out a little like this, so I think it gives it more of a natural look. And then I will crop that. We'll crop that there, we'll crop it here. And that's good that I'm cropping this area. I remember this area was looking kind of weird, like some weird pixels. And then there we go. We got that. I'll hit the enter, and that's it. Looks good to me.